Welcome to what are we calling ourselves again? Are we
The
going with it?
Indian Boss channel.
Are we
I
calling
think
ourselves the Idiot Box channel, or are we going with something else? But anyway,
Well,
for the time being,
welcome.
it's
asking the question what we're calling ourselves again means that we already recorded something and we called ourselves something that time. We didn't.
No, it's
So
not.
this is the first time when we are calling ourselves something.
Yes,
Alright.
it's the first ever episode or stream or whatever you want to, video format that we're recording, and today we're discussing Brahmastra.
cool.
Ta-da. So, Padmi, do you want to take us through the outline of what we're going to be
Yeah,
discussing about
yes,
this
I guess.
fantabulous movie?
Yup. Well, it is the biggest Bollywood movie of the year, at least this year. So I guess we'll just talk about what you guys thought of the movie, like the good and bad aspects, what they could have improved on. And then we'll have a second segment where each of you is going to basically pitch your version of what Brahmastra 2 should be, including who should be playing Dev in Brahmastra 2. And let's see what you guys come up with, because there are a bunch of theories out there, and it'll be interesting to see like what you guys come up with, and well, 2, 3 years from now, or 4, 5 years from now, what the movie would look like. So yeah, let's go.
I think
I guess
at the rate that the first movie came out, I think the second movie you can expect in the next 5 years. But
yeah.
considering that
I
Deepika is
I heard a fan theory that said Ranbir and Alia's kid would play a role in Brahmastra 3 because he would probably be that old by then.
God.
Like
Okay.
either play a baby or play like Ranbir and Alia, Shiva and Isha's kid in the movie.
That's a possibility.
Is it,
It is.
confirmed that there are going to be 3 parts?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Yeah.
It's a trilogy, yeah.
Yeah.
But coming back to just the basics of the movie, like
Yeah.
for this very episode, I watched the movie twice. Like it was hard enough to endure it the first time that I went and watched it twice. So,
Okay,
as friends, I think we're quite divided on the movie.
Yeah, actually,
the
let
most
that be.
important aspect that we are divided on is whether or not Shiva's and Isha's love story was even required.
Oh,
So
wait,
guys,
hold up. Before we get to that, I think we need to set a basis on who liked the movie, who didn't like the movie, who's on the fence, where we are at with that. Because I think everybody in the country right now, I'll say country, even though I'm not in the country, right now is not liking the movie.
no, actually, I've been hearing a lot of mixed theories. So the first 2 days, okay, I'll give you guys my take on what it was for me. I don't know if I like Brahmastra or I didn't like Brahmastra, if I'm being
So you're
brutally
on the
honest.
fence. You're malleable. You're on the fence. You can go either way.
No, I mean, like, there are certain aspects of the movie that I felt like were great, and certain aspects that I cringed. Like, I fucking cringed. Like, what the fuck? Like, so me and Niharika watched the movie together
Mm-hmm.
the first day. And when I was watching it, like, when I started off, like, the minute we entered, guys, spoilers, if you haven't watched the movie, it's not like it's going to change your life. But anyway, when we started watching the movie, I was cringing. I was looking at Niharika for the first 40 minutes going like, what the fuck did we come
Wait,
for?
hold up. So this is where I think me and Parmeet disagree. The first 40 minutes were actually the best. The Shah Rukh Khan part was like the best, even though
No, so I think Shah Rukh Khan was firstly, I think in the first 8 to 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And of course, like that, I think that gave people motivation to sit through the next 1 hour of crap, because I think the entire love story development was very rushed. I mean, he just sees her for one time and then he falls in love with her. She falls in love with him. She's ready to go on this like great adventure to the unknown. Didn't make sense. I think, but yeah, Shah Rukh Khan was only there for star power. Of course, his like role itself was great, but that was motivation for everyone else to sit through the movie.
But I think the Shah Rukh Khan part is what got us all hooked. Like, we haven't seen Shah Rukh on screen. And I don't know about Deepak, but I know me, Parmeet, and Niharika fucking simps for Shah Rukh. So the minute like we saw Shah Rukh on screen, it was like, what the fuck? Shah Rukh's in the movie.
I screamed. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
Because
It was-
we were waiting to watch him in something, anything,
Yeah,
right?
I think all of us knew, right? Like all of us knew that he was going to be in this movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were spoilers.
Yeah, and, like everyone knew. It was just that they introduced. I think
There
the
were
problem
leaked
people
pictures
had
and
was
everything.
yeah, exactly. So everyone knew he was going to be in the movie, but I assume that it comes somewhere in the middle or the end more so than the beginning. And I think that was one thing that I liked where they just started off with a bang. And a lot of people have a problem with that because they started off with a bang and then they
It did.
introduced Ranbir and Alia's character and they were like, oh, love story and going away from the main, like the Astraverse, the actual Astras and stuff like that, which people really liked. But I don't know, like I liked it personally the first half because, well, okay, like Alia Bhatt's, like Isha's backstory aside, it's the basic outline of that was like a 90s love story, which I am a sucker for 90s and early 2000s
But
movies.
we've
And I
moved
was
on
like,
from the
yes,
90s.
this is Bollywood right here.
No, but
But
I'm saying that even though the love story, like you get the 90s love story, but there's no character arc to Isha's story at all. It's like, why is she even
Yeah.
there?
yeah,
Like,
Why is she there?
why does Isha exist? Like,
I,
there is
And then,
no.
later on with the whole on button, off button thing, they're just trying to
okay,
justify her role in the
was
movie
cringe. That
when
was
she's like
fine.
wholly unrequired. Her character doesn't need to be there.
She's
And
there
they
to
just
say,
added this arc of on and off button, which is so bizarre.
Shiva,
See,
Yeah.
Shiva.
see,
Like, they should
again,
have a game to take a shot
There's
every
a
time. Shiva.
that's a very dangerous drinking game because that's all she says in the movie.
Which
so
comes to
I
the fact
agree.
that
Sorry, I agree that her entrance into the movie and her reason to stay, because if let's think about this, right? If you meet somebody for the first time, okay, fine, it's little adventurous, you go on to where they're staying. But if that person has a panic attack, spazzes out, runs to the terrace and acts like he just shit his pants, you're not going to stay there for the next 2 hours. That's one thing. But I think we're relying too much on the fact that they should have explained everything in the first go, even though we know it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
They might pick up on the Isha's backstory in the next
That's
movie. It might make sense.
I agree.
that is
There
actually a
are so many- I
possibility.
think when we can, towards the end of it, we can also talk, like, even now we can, but there are so many different fan theories with Isha's character that I feel
Yeah.
like even if they
I've seen-
didn't think about it, the makers now will add something to her backstory because otherwise people will just get annoyed with the way her character arc was in this movie. And
I guess that's an advantage of having such long breaks between the movies, right? Like you can actually get consumer feedback and like add stuff, tweak stuff if you're not done filming everything.
But let's say all this is given, okay? I believe everything that you're saying. One thing that I think we all have to agree is that it was really, really, really shitty dialogue writing. I've never seen worse dialogues in my life, okay? And this entire, like, both Ranbir as well as Alia are touted to be the greatest talent that Bollywood has seen. And I agree to some extent, they're really good actors, but they had so little to work with. So even if I shit on Ranbir and Alia for doing such a shitty job, it's not all on them. It's what script is given to you, and it's what dialogues.
Exactly.
Even if you take somebody like a Shah Rukh Khan, which that man can make anything look beautiful. He was given dialogues like "Kyare mote, kyare gende," which is, I'm just like, we're
So
past
cringe.
that, guys. Like, please, like, you can't call somebody a genda and said, "Ha, pakad ke dikha," and
I
shit. I'm
think,
like, it's Shah
those
Rukh
two were
Khan.
the most like throwaway
Really?
characters, like Raftar and whatever the other guy's name.
No,
But-
that also I'm like, fine. The character for them, they still had better character development than even than Alia's character had.
Or
But see, again, I have a defense for that also. It might not be like all-encompassing defense, but his character, forget that it is played by Shah Rukh Khan. His character is a person who is influenced by the Monkey Astra for so long. And Monkey Astra is like a playful character who like it's a monkey. Just imagine a langur. Langur will call things people names, like makes do stuff like that. So I feel that's also still justified. You're relying too much on it being Shah Rukh Khan, so it has to be like, the
No,
best actor ever.
that I get fair. Even if you take that difference, it's fair. But you can still like, we can't argue with the fact that the dialogue writing was really poorly done.
It was
Like,
actually
so poorly done. And considering you're spending 400 crores on a movie, get a goddamn
I
good
want to chip in
writer.
and say, when Ranbir Kapoor says, light us roshni ka naam hai, he's essentially saying, light us light ka naam hai, which makes no sense.
Wow. Yeah, that's-
What
Yeah, I
even?
think,
And then throughout the entire movie, Alia is just like, Shiva light, Shiva light.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, we have another friend joining us. Shudula, what's
Hi.
happening, yo?
Hola, ¿cómo estás, mi niños, niñas? What's up?
What's
I
happening?
just woke up, so excuse my sexy voice, but yeah, I'm just here to listen. I don't have much to say. I do have much to say, but I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
But yeah, coming back to where we were with the whole poor dialogue writing, he's gotten so much slack for it. When you're spending 400 crores on a movie, okay, I feel like I'm going off on a rant on how bad some aspects were. Let's get to the good parts, okay? Like the good
I mean,
parts for me started post the interval, okay? Like some of the animations, which
Also,
like some of the
scene just
VFX,
before the interval.
yeah, they really, some of the shots, like even when you look at
The
him,
car chase sequence was good.
yes. Like, yes, I don't see Nagarjuna's role over there. I'm just like, this, he was a diversity hire, including Tenzing also was a diversity hire.
Yeah.
They killed
It's just
Tenzing
like-
for that shit. But cool. Okay, we'll get to that later.
Can
They
I
were
say
just like,
something about Nagarjuna?
go for it, Raf.
I thought he looked like the hyenas from Lion King, like the animated version.
Just lost so much weight for this role, I think. I don't know, or general.
I mean, a lot of people like. I think I'm on the plus side, on the other side of it, because I feel like Shah Rukh Khan and Nagarjuna added stuff to their characters, and you were at least it got people invested in like, oh yeah, these people, and I think that's one thing they did well, right? They didn't give Nagarjuna a lot of
yeah.
like dialogue.
Also,
Also,
yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, so they give such a big build up to Nagarjuna's character and the Nandi Astra and everything, and he's like trying to like knock off this truck, and in the end he dies, and these people escape without a scratch.
Did
So what
he
was the point
die?
of an entire scene?
Did he? He just fell off a cliff after getting shot.
Even Shah Rukh Khan just
He died.
disappeared off an edge.
No,
Even Shah Rukh Khan just disappeared off an edge. You don't know if he's dead.
you don't know. But also, he was shot a billion times. So,
And
even
also
Shah
it,
Rukh
like-
Khan can
But
justify
also,
that.
there was like a tiny revelation in that scene when they're falling off the cliff. This Junoon's character, she says Kavachastra or something, and then this whole protective shield comes over them. And then towards the end, when Amitabh is explaining all the powers of Dev, he
Yeah.
says Dev has the Kavachastra.
Yeah.
So then that's how it's connected, because he's protecting her, whatever.
But yeah, I think that was because she is getting power.
She's his
from
lackey.
sense of him or something, right? Like he's gaining
I
power.
think the biggest problem I had with the chase was, and it was a great chase sequence and everything, until you see like Junoon's character in a freaking lorry going after them for some reason. Because why in a lorry? Like, why? That's so random. Like,
But
these guys are going in a car, and she's like, "Uske piche chalo, lorry."
But
mein."
that whole sequence was very cool though, when he goes and he
It was
stands
very
up
cool.
and he starts running and he's like, I'm gonna protect. And like when the bull comes on and the bull, I was just, if you look
That
at the
was so
last
cool.
end
I
sequence,
So anime.
when he pushes
didn't-
them off the cliff,
Yeah.
that looks so freaking cool. Like I'm like, they had so
Yeah.
much potential, so much good material to work with. But it's just like you look at those parts and you're like, fuck, I want to like this movie so badly. Why are
So
you
I
pushing me to hate
actually
it?
still liked it. So I'm like I'm picking out all these aspects of it, but I was able to just like I don't know, brush them off because I like the movie a lot. I feel like a lot of people have a problem with Ranbir and Isha's Ranbir and Alia's like love story part in it, and it's like just throughout the entire movie you see love story, but I feel I wouldn't be as invested in the movie if it wasn't for the love story, because then it would be just another superhero movie. Although okay, it's like an Indian superhero movie, but yeah, it would have been a
I'm not
regular
saying
movie.
I'm not saying
But
don't have a love
also, like,
story, but don't have so much cringe. Like they were dancing to Chikni Chameli or that only, no? Chikni Chameli
yeah,
or something
Niche
Yes.
else.
Mary.
I
And
like
also,
that
like,
part.
I hate Bollywood, like, just adding in one actress for her to play a damsel in distress. Like, she can't save herself. She's just like falling and crying. It's like, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva.
She's
there's
always
Why can't
crying.
she fight for herself?
But there's
She's
something
always
there.
crying.
You remember that scene where she is falling off the building and then she was like, oh, and then she wakes up
How
from,
did she survive a fall from a 4-story building with
from a
no broken
crumbling
bones?
building. She falls from a crumbling building and she's like, oh,
She
Shiva.
falls on her back.
Yeah,
How did she not bang her head and then her head didn't split open?
she just made
And
through.
her phone is intact after this fall.
Like, what Nokia phone is that? Like, I don't know, dude.
But yeah, there was some aspect that I'm like,
Theory.
wait,
There's a fan theory there that
hmm,
she actually has healing powers, or she has some kind of powers, and that's why where were all the
Not
bad
telepathy.
guys after she fell off that building? And where were all the bad guys? Because there weren't any bad guys seen
They
after she
disappeared.
fell down. Yeah, they disappeared. Why? Basically, I like there's a fan theory that she has healing powers, but I also feel like something happened around that point that all the bad guys basically disappeared and she was back to normal.
Or it's just a very loosely written plot.
See,
oh,
I'm
that.
giving you the benefit of the doubt because I really like this movie.
Like, yeah, we can think about it, add meaning to it, add mystique to it, or it was just shitty writing. It could be both.
He put so much time into it, and they have the outline for the trilogy. I feel so they like there should be more. To
Yeah.
her character.
But
Alia
I think
still
like I
didn't
can
have-
still forgive this movie because they're attempting something so ambitious and they'll make the second and third movie better. Like this is
Oh.
just like setting up the story.
No matter how I feel about this movie, I'm really excited for part 2. Because I'm also
I
really
am.
excited because I'm kind of, we'll get to this. I don't know if I should get to this now, but I'm really excited for who's going to play Ranbir
Dave.
Kapoor's mother. Not Dave,
Well,
Ranbir
that's
Kapoor's
too
mother.
obvious. Like
There
I
can
think,
be only one.
I think we all know it's Deepika Padukone. It's
Super
not like a
obvious.
spoiler.
Yeah.
It's too obvious. Everyone knows it's Deepika Padukone at this point.
Yeah, you cannot
The
mistake
entire
it. You cannot mistake that silhouette after Om Shanti Om. Like, you know what she looks like.
Yeah.
What her silhouette looks like.
Even Dave, then you can't miss the silhouette. It's
Well,
too
It
obvious.
was still ambiguous, dude. Like, they just showed a
And
bulky
like
shaved back. That's all.
in
That's
the words of the famous Kareena Kapoor, if there's an actress, I think Deepika would be the only choice to play Amrita.
I mean, I would say there's also Priyanka Chopra, although she's not doing
She's too
like-
old, huh?
What the hell? She's not. She would have been an amazing Amrita too. Or
No,
No.
but they are showing Amrita in her prime, in like when she was young.
I mean, well, I guess
Wow, you just wrote off
Okay, like, I
Priyanka
think
Chopra as just she's old.
exactly right. You just
Like
dismissed her
like
as,
2 minutes ago, you're like, we don't want a token Bollywood damsel in distress, but like Priyanka Chopra, fuck that, she's old.
She
She
doesn't
just
have
won't
strong
suit the
knees.
role. I think she won't suit the role.
No, but yeah, say that. Like Amrita is Deepika for me, and Dev is my only
Ranveer
one
Singh.
true love in my life, Ranveer Singh. Nobody can be better than Ranveer Singh.
we'll get into this, but I feel like Hrithik Roshan would have been a better Dave too. But
He,
alright,
no.
anyway, let's get into that. He would have been like, I think he'll be a great Dave too, but I guess he doesn't want to do it or some shit like that. Anyway, like we've spoken about all the bad things, I guess, and like all the plot holes, whatever, some issues you guys have. Tell me what you liked about it so that we can at least cover those parts. Like enough of shitting on the movie. I
Okay,
guess.
there are
Because I
there are a
liked it.
lot.
I'll go last. You guys go for it because yeah, I really liked this movie. Go.
Okay, despite saying everything that I did, there are
Yeah.
certain aspects that I really like. One is the animation. Like for me, couple of scenes, like it was, yes, Ranbir doing this with the fireball seems fucking weird. But like later when he got to that stage where he was on that horse and like there was the phoenix made out of fire, like or that scene, that was
Wings,
beautiful.
yeah.
Then there was that scene, even though like Deepika was mourning, Ranbir was mourning, Deepika was mourning in that scene in which she's hugging him and he makes that human out of, sorry, Alia
Alia.
Bhatt is, both of them are mourning in that scene, and then he lists out that fire, and then that was a pretty cool scene. Then the scene where Tenzing picks both of them up. I was rooting for that kid, dude.
That was cool. Yeah.
That was
What
really
a-
cool. That gave
I'm sad they actually killed him off because I feel like he was a very interesting character. Like out of all the side like guys with the Astras, Tenzing actually had like a better role. I feel like they should have kept him, and he brought that like I don't know childlike
exactly.
into the
He
movie.
got the very Avatar Last Airbender vibe, right?
Hmm.
But the others got a very Power Rangers vibe. I don't know what the Snake Arrow one is.
Those five Pandavas.
I don't know what the I don't know what the other one is supposed to be. Thing is, I'm not going back into the bad again, but I just feel like when you look at the movie as a whole, right? This is the last bad point, summary of all the bads. Is it's very, very Harry Potter inspired, very Power Rangers inspired, very Marvel inspired. You can see what has inspired them. He's not pushed the envelope to go and explore more. Like very obvious, like this guy got saved by a fire where his parents were killed and he was the one who's the one that lived, right? All of those things, I'm just like, dude, you had unlimited budget, great storytellers around you. You could have explored further, right? It's just like when that's the one aspect that I think about it. But when I look at it as, oh yes, somebody is doing something in Indian cinema and there is some good hope for it, then you see the power of animation. Like, dude, most of the good animation in the world comes from India. It's time to start using it for our own movies.
Before you jump the gun on that, I just did some research. The animation was so good because it was done by a studio called DNEG. I don't know how to say the name. That has also worked on stuff like Adam Project, Sonic the Hedgehog, Bullet Train, Black Adam, Stranger Things.
That's why it was so expensive.
Yeah, Stranger Things 4. They're also working on Oppenheimer, Glass, Onion, and like.
Yeah, but I think the main VFX studio is still like Red Chillies, I think. But
No.
Oh, no, it's,
I don't think Red Chillies is capable of that level of work.
They are.
Please, Red Chillies
You'd
is
be
actually
surprised.
really
Red Chillies is one of the biggest in the world for
You know,
VFX.
it is also like
In India.
In the world, VFX, Red Chillies is go-to.
like, Red Chillies is really good. Like I think it's very underrated because of what we think of when we look at these movies. But like stuff, even like totally digressing from Brahmastra, but like even like a movie like Zero, right? There was so much that went into making that movie. Like there were 5 shots for every single scene in the movie because when Red Chillies was doing it. So I don't think they get enough credit, but yeah, whatever.
But Deepak, you watched that show, right? That other YouTube channel that does
Corridor Crew. Shout out
Corridor
to
Crew.
Corridor Crew,
Yeah.
VFX breakdown.
Yeah, I introduced it to you guys. So not watch it. I introduced it to you guys, FYI. So
Yeah, I know you did.
Credit due, bro.
For those who have not, like Narka and Shudla, if you have not watched Corridor Crew, they do beautiful breakdowns of every movie from a VFX standpoint. They're all like VFX artists, and every scene, like right from a Rajnikant movie to an RRR, they're going to break down the VFX for everything. And it's pretty cool, dude, when you see what happened in the background.
Guests from the production VFX production team, or like the managers who have actually worked on those shots, and like how they break down and how they approach the shot, like how much time it took, where they fucked up, where it went actually well, and all that stuff. They talk about it. That's really good.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Cool.
now who else wants to say good things? I'm done saying
Nihar.
good things.
Who's
Yeah,
good?
I think the background score was really nice. Not the songs, the background score was great, especially in the fight sequence and all in the end. And of course, the VFX was nice. One scene I particularly liked was when they just reached the ashram, and then Ranbir suddenly like creates fire with his hands and he
That was
burns
like,
his
I
guy
think,
to a pakoda. It
yeah,
was nice.
I really like that part. That was like one of the favorite
That was
parts.
like a goosebumps moment.
It was when he actually for the first time gets all that fire out. That was awesome.
Yeah. And I like when they go back in history and they were talking about Dev and all, just because I like mythology so much. I wish there was more focus on mythology, like a little more deeper into it. Yeah, that's all.
I think it was actually, I don't agree with that. I think it is good they didn't go into mythology, because then all the religious buffs will come out like, oh,
That's true.
how can you make Brahmastra like the villain? Like, no, this is like, that's not how it works. But one thing I like about this movie, and that's usually my issue with a lot of other Indian movies, they have a really good idea of how one shot should be. They'll dump a lot of money into the VFX and stuff for it. And because they want their money's worth out of that shot, they'll add so much slow motion into it. And that just kills the shot. Here, they didn't try to do that. They didn't try to add slow motion into every single thing. They just had, okay, it's fast paced, action is fast paced, let it keep happening. Even the starting fight scene with Shah Rukh Khan, there's no slow motion, oh, punch, oh, flying. It's just happening. It stops happening. That's how it is. Even in Marvel movies, if you see, all the fight scenes are not, there's very little slow motion. They use slow motion when they want to explain some complicated thing that's just happened in the fight. But they don't, okay, when people are fighting, they just let it happen fast. So I think that was good. And yeah, I like that a lot. They didn't just rely on slow motion too much.
Nice. Good aspects, all right, up to you.
Yeah.
Can Shidla even hear us? I don't think Shidla can hear us though.
Or she doesn't want to.
Sorry, what? I zoned out hard.
Cool.
Wait,
So
what?
no, we were
No,
like, what are the good aspects for you?
What are the good aspects? It's really difficult for me to say anything good because I could not focus on the movie after those dialogues. I was like, you know what? I'm not wasting my brain cells on this movie. No. It's like click. Like those killers.
Oh my god. That
Who
scene.
talks like that?
The first time
Nobody.
she did click, it was one thing. But do you remember the second time she said click?
When the world was ending.
You know, when
No.
Tenzing died, when
I
Tenzing
still remember the world ending.
They didn't even cry about Tenzing dying.
and she's like, click it.
Even then, she's like, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva.
The world was ending, guys.
What a rude bitch. He just saved your life.
I mean, like, fine, world is ending. You can save it, but you can't save Tenzing. He's dead. What do you mean, click?
That scene was so cringe when I was like, okay, yeah, they did great job with the world ending. And he's like, I can't live without her. And he ran through all those rocks.
It makes no sense how even when the world is ending and everything, they just want to like run into each other and hug. It's so silly.
I think it's just Ayan Mukherjee, like,
yeah,
jumping at you in those scenes.
Like, I hate how Ayan Mukherjee thinks in every movie of his, the girl character has to show the guy character his path in life and save him from himself.
Yeah. And have her sit together on the side.
Yeah. That's all her role is. Like, I'm sorry, even in Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, it's not like Bunny can't grow up by himself and Deepika's character has to tell him, you know, this is how you live life and this is all the nice things about life. This is your path. And then he has an epiphany. Wake up Sid also. Like, Ranbir Kapoor just can't grow up by himself. He always needs a girl to do it for him.
Goo Goo Gaga, feed me.
Those are coming of age stories. It's called coming of age for a reason.
He's 35. He can't keep coming of age at every 30, whatever. on.
Like Tanmay asked him in that interview, like AIB did a podcast with Ranveer Kapoor, and Tanmay looks at Ranveer and he's like, dude, are you going to grow up in your next movie at least?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but
I don't think so. No.
Even Brahmastra was the same thing. Like, he sees her at this Durga Puja thing. Hair is flying, sari is flying.
that
So
was-
she's the eternal love of his life. That's it. He doesn't know anything about her.
I liked that part, like the first half for me, I was like, this is Bollywood movie. I was like, yes, okay.
I'll
know
give
what
it.
I got myself into, guys. I don't know what you expected. Like, everyone knew from the time Kesaria came out, this movie is like the love story is going to be a big part, and they marketed it that way as well. Like, Ayan Mukherjee was like, okay, it's like a love story, and with the Astraverse in there.
But again,
Is it an Astraverse story with a love story, or is it a love story with an Astraverse?
See, I think they did a great job in building the world out. Okay, dialogues aside, I think more than the click part for me, the on-off Isha Mera button.
On-off button?
Was that was my problem with the thing. But the songs were great. Every song I loved, and the
I didn't like
background
one song. What is that?
What?
The one in the beginning. That was
Taboo.
very unnecessary. The
Yeah,
dance
Yes,
one.
I
I actually really like. I don't know why I liked the song
See,
when I watched
the
it.
choreography and visualization was nice.
It was really good.
Colors were good, but
Yeah.
the lyrics itself were very cringe.
Because I'm a fan of Kesaria. Like, I'm a big sim for Kesaria. I've heard Kesaria like 1,000 times. And this time, the second time I watched the movie, I really liked the Deva Deva sequence. And I
Yeah.
loved the exact visuals that they got during that entire song. That whole montage was great.
That was
And then I was
good.
like, you guys are getting so many things right. Why the fuck can't you stay consistent throughout the movie and get a lot of things right? Like,
And
with what
especially since it took 10 years to make. What were you
I think
doing?
that's the biggest issue. People are like, "Oh, Ayan Mukherjee, 9 years of your life you put into this. What? Like, why? Like, why didn't you write a better story if it took you so many years?" Like
But
someone asked him also about the dialogues, right? Like in a recent interview after watching the movie, someone asked him, like, why are the dialogues written this way? And he was like, well, most of the modern like youngsters or whatever basically have a mix of
yeah,
like Hindi, like they speak in
I think
Hindi.
it's intentional.
It was intentional. He was like, everyone speaks this way. Like Brahmastra, like me and Deepak were discussing this. Like everyone's cringing over the fact that he described Brahmastra like, oh, ye pizza jaisa hai. But how would you describe the Brahmastra to a
You were
normal person then?
If you were in that situation where you're trying to describe a circular thing that breaks off into slices, what would you say?
That's the
No,
point.
but it makes sense. It kind of makes sense because he's made the movie also for like younger audiences who will
And-
not watch it if the Hindi is too heavy. I get it,
True.
but it was still cringe.
And yeah, that's true. Like even he also like hit upon the fact that like when Kesaria came out, everyone was like trolling it for the love story part, but people are still listening to it. Everyone loves the song, even
But
now.
no.
What?
That's
Yeah,
because they've marketed it so heavily, they've shoved it down everyone's throat.
yeah, but it's a really good song, right? Like
It
I
is.
really like that song. It's a great
It's a
song.
good Bollywood song after forever. We haven't had a good song from Bollywood in a long time. We've been listening to Pani Pani and like what is Badshah's music, dude? Like I just can't anymore.
I don't think we
Like-
should hate on Badshah. We'll like, yeah, let's not go into hating Badshah.
No,
here.
I love Badshah, but I'm just like, yeah, with
Yes,
like
yeah,
from
I
all the
mean-
music that we've heard of late, I think Kesaria was a good song.
Yeah, I liked
You-
the album.
you-
It's like actually Bollywood, they don't have a lot of like mix and influence of other like places, in that, which is like good.
But
It is-
also one more point about the one of the sidekick characters, one of the X-Men of Brahmastra. That girl had a Bhojpuri accent. I'm like, how much do you want to pander, bro?
Yeah, why was it necessary? And
And
she just has two dialogues and it's like very caricature.
Yeah.
And
And
then
she's
there were those two friends, those unnecessary sidekicks of Ranbir Kapoor that I don't know why nobody
and they
addressed.
disappeared after the first scene.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I
fine.
thought about
You're
that.
just introducing
I
a
thought
random person there. Sorry.
I don't know. Well, clearly, I know all of you hated the love story part. I'd just like to say that I liked it. And like, it was nice, dude. Like, and like the longest time, when did you actually watch like a good love story in Bollywood in recent times, in the last year? This wasn't a good love story, but it was fine.
Sita
For the
Ramam.
movie.
He's not in
I don't
Bollywood,
know,
but Sita
that is in
Ramam.
Bollywood though. It's a Telugu movie. I loved it. Yeah, Sitaramam was good. We can talk about that. Review coming up for discussion next week or the week after. Anyway,
But what I was saying is that, see, dude, I can even justify the pizza thing. I can justify like the dialogue. Sometimes, they're terrible, but that just random through the crowd, like through the club, like looking at each other and just like, oh, now you're here, I am here,
Yeah.
now you're here. What? That does not happen. Like, have you ever been to a club? Can you see anybody after the third person?
No,
No.
you can't.
See anybody. How are you seeing people across the club? It's too much.
That was not the worst. I'll get to the worst part.
yeah,
Is
that's
when
not, I don't think
he
that's
was
the worst.
he was manifesting the Brahmastra into himself, and for
Uh-huh.
cheap thrills, Deepika's like, I want to touch his chest. Why now?
It's not Deepika.
Yeah,
keep saying
why?
Deepika.
What was that?
Oh, Alia.
It's like, where did Deepika come from and touch his chest?
Kinky.
I meant
But
Alia.
guys, do you have any theories about who killed Amrita, or was it an accidental fire?
I don't think she's dead. She might not even be
I don't
dead.
think it was accidental. Someone definitely like killed her.
I'm sure someone killed her.
Like,
But
it's,
if but if she has Jalastra, or she herself is Jalastra, why didn't she extinguish the fire?
I don't think
Maybe-
she's dead. One.
But also, guys, there's one more theory. So when Junoon in the final fight sequence, she's summoning water.
yeah,
There's a theory that Junoon and Shiva are actually twins.
I heard
They are
that.
kids of Amrita and
Yeah.
Dev, and that's why she was able to summon water.
But I don't
Actually,
think.
I was having that theory until just now when you said that, what do you think killed Amrita? Now I am having a theory that she's probably not dead, or she got absorbed by Dev, and Dev's powers are like going on to Janoon. So she also is like, it's a lot. I get it.
Yeah. So I'm sure second and third movie will be, and apparently rumors are Rajamouli might be directing the third movie.
I don't know about that. That's
Why?
No, that's why he's promoting the movie, no? That's why you see
Why?
him going and promoting the movie.
that I don't know. Like, I mean,
It's not going to be all
Rajamouli
Ayan
movie is
Mukherjee.
also
It's
because,
not like,
it is-
and neither will Ranbir Kapoor be the star of all movies.
Hmm.
That can change, keep changing. But
I feel like Ranbir Kapoor is definitely going to, just because it's Ayan Mukherjee's universe and Ranbir Kapoor is like his hero.
Ranbir Kapoor, Ayan Mukherjee are like the Karan Johar, Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I feel like they have, like, he will put Ranbir Kapoor in every movie of his. And that's, like, you guys touched on it earlier, like the parallels between like Harry Potter and all of this, but it's basically Harry Potter and Star Wars, right? Like, literally, like, Dave is Darth Vader over here, and he's stuff like, that's basically
He's come to kill his
what
son.
he did. Yeah, basically. So it will be interesting how they like change some aspects of the story. And yeah,
And a few better fight sequences. I feel like the next part could use some really cool fight sequences. If they're pulling off what they're saying, they'll pull off with Ranveer Singh and Ranbir Kapoor. And Ranbir Kapoor having the Brahmastra,
Oh.
it should be a pretty cool set of fight sequences. I feel, at least. I don't know.
well, that's a good segue. I guess just last thoughts. All of us liked it, except Sridhara, clearly, who like hated it and checked out of the movie in the first 10-15 minutes, clearly.
But I can relate.
I don't even remember most of the scenes you guys are talking about. I'm like, oh,
Wow. Okay. So other than Sridhara, all of us feel like it was a good movie, but could have been better. It has some
No.
cringe parts.
Considering they spent 400 crores in 10 years, it should have been a lot better.
I can.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the 400 crores. The 10 years parts bugs me. Yeah, like
I never
Okay,
said it's a good
They lost
movie. I
2
said I'm
years to COVID,
confused.
all right. But still, 8 years.
Okay, fine. So Abhinav confused, but still optimistic for second part.
Yeah.
Niharika, same.
On the
good.
fence.
On the fence. Deepak.
I liked it, but if the second part doesn't justify the things that were bad in the first part, then like it's useless. It's pointless.
Same.
Then
I
it's
think I'm-
cancelled.
I'm in that. Yeah, I'm in that boat too. Like I liked it. Like it was a good movie overall. Like not paying into attention, like going into like the other bad stuff, but it was still a good movie for me. Optimistic. And now, thanks Abhinav for the segue, because since you mentioned Ranveer Singh, let's go into like, I want to hear from all of you your pitch for Brahmastra 2 or 3, the trilogy, or just like the next movie. It's up to you guys. And who do you think is the person who should play Dev and why? Please give good reasons, because I will like then pick a winner, most likely.
It should have been John Abraham, but it should have been John Abraham, but more buff. Like I saw his equivalent too. He was not buff in that; he was skinny. But John Abraham, but buff, would have been good for.
Interesting. So John Abraham is your pick for Dev. Okay, that's a good pick.
For me,
Abhinav?
it's simple. It's Ranveer
Ranveer
Singh.
Singh.
It's
And
you
Niharika?
look at the silhouette. It is Ranveer Singh.
Yeah.
That body, that everything. That it is my boy.
Niharika, you too? Ranveer Singh?
I think it'll be Ranveer Singh because again, like Abhinav said, purely based on the silhouette and the kind of character that Dave might be, like somebody hungry for power and already very powerful and all of that. I think Ranveer can play such a character because he's played it in
As Khilji.
Padmavat
Yeah, Padmavat. Yeah, interesting.
and he did a very good job. Like he was bloody good.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, that's why probably like Ranveer Singh, the silhouette kind of gave it away, but you still don't know.
And the hair,
Yeah.
everything.
Clearly, you guys are on the Ranveer Singh bandwagon.
I'm manifesting this.
I mean, even I can pretty much assume it's going to be Ranveer Singh, but I was just like, okay, let's try to think of another person.
At this point, it's like Bollywood's worst kept secret. Deepika and Ranveer will be in the second movie.
Yeah, that's true. It's
I
kind
want
of
it to be Arjun Rampal.
Oh, that would be a really good casting too.
Yeah, but he's not like
He's not
strong
built enough for it though. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
like-
can see it. I can really see it. It's just that little more if he bulked up,
Yeah.
which I don't think he can. But yeah, Arjun Rampal
Even-
with long hair.
But I feel like Arjun
But he's not a
Rampal
good
doesn't have
actor,
the
like-
acting.
Yeah, he's not a good
an
actor. Usually,
Same way, Hrithik is not like a brilliant actor. Hrithik can get the physique, but acting wise, I don't
He can
know.
still do a good job if he if he wants to. But apparently, like they offered like rumors, they offered it to him, and he was like, he doesn't want to do it because he's doing Krish 4 and he's doing, I think, a Ramayana movie. So it's already like 2 VFX heavy movies, and he doesn't want to spend. He wants to do more movies apparently,
And he's
doesn't want to
already
spend time on, like,
and he's already doing like a, what do you say? It's already a religious shirtless movie he's doing. So sounds like his quota is fixed.
yeah, I think definitely.
But
I would have
you
liked it
hmm.
in the role for sure, or even like out there choice, not really, but Aditya Roy Kapoor, I feel would have been a good selection for this role.
Yes,
I
yes,
watched
yes,
all
yes.
of the movies.
Yeah, Aditya Roy Kapoor would have been like great as well.
Oh, that is still an option, dude. He can grow out his hair. He's got the body for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like if you look at Malam, like he has clearly the body for it, and his hair was.
Dude,
I'm going
Aditya
to
Roy
try it.
Kapoor is my man crush Monday. Like he's so cute.
So you
I
have
can't
others
be-
for other days.
Yeah. Ranveer Singh is man crush Tuesday.
He's man crush every day.
Wow.
Okay, let's get into your pitches now. I want to hear like what you guys have to say. So, who's going first? Who's volunteering?
I'll go first. I think already what I just said for that would happen with my theory of what happens like with Amrita. She didn't die in the fire. She kind of like got absorbed by Dev, and then now because Dev is like subletting his powers to Janun, I guess. So she has the gel power also. So I don't know. That's my theory. That's what will get revealed.
Okay. Abhinav?
So the thing is, like, I think me and Niharika discussed this during that scene in which he bears the that Junoon's
Money.
that stone, and then he sees, like, for me, Dave is trapped in that so-called
In
figurine.
a form.
Yeah,
Amrita trapped him in that form.
Exactly. So the way the next sequence will be the way I see it. I don't know how it's going to manifest, but very Star Wars inspired, like Darth Vader coming to kill his son, right? And so they will come, and now that Ranbir Kapoor is the true honing of the Brahmastra, so he will try and protect, and of course, at the end, the Brahmastra will be. But the thing is, I don't know. The second part's going to be called Dev, right? Is what I'm
It's
guessing.
all about Dave.
Right. So it's going to be a lot of focus.
Just FYI to cut in, Darth Vader didn't come to kill his son. He came to confront his son, and when he gets to know, he like helps him out. FYI, when
Yeah,
he gets to know that he's his son, when Luke is his son, he helps him out. FYI,
No,
he's
but
not going to.
I'm saying that probably they'll follow a similar arc, and they'll look at it like, of course, Dev doesn't know that Ranbir is his son. I'm guessing,
I think
because
he knows.
You might be right.
He knows.
Knows?
no, I'm just going by theory. I'm like, if that is the case, then it'll be interesting. Like the most of the, I think even uh, Amrita's character won't have much of dialogue, and they'll have a little bit of backstory for
Yeah, what do
Amrita,
you
but they
think of
won't have like a very large portion of Amrita's role as they'll have for Dev. There'll be a backstory on how Dev and Amrita met and everything that went down, but they won't. The main concept, how I see it, is there's going to be backstory of Dev, who Dev is, where he comes from, how he joined the what are the Brahma, what are they called?
Brahmansh?
Brahmanish. How he became a Brahmanish, how he went on to the dark side, very Voldemortish inspired. And then he'll go into that, and then he'll come into how this guy, our man Ranbir, is still the star of the show. Like you said, as long as Ayan Mukherjee is there, he's still the star. So it'll be about Dev, but Dev will die or something will happen. Like Ranbir will kill Dev or something like that. That's my theory.
So that's in the second movie or third?
What will happen in the third movie then? Like they were just everybody chilling and eating shawarma in the third movie. What will happen in the third movie?
I think they'll take it to the third movie. This
Yeah.
father-son fight.
Yeah.
But then if it's the third movie, then the second movie will be a lot more focused around
Dev and
This-
Amrita's love story.
And I think it's
But-
going to.
like you guys are saying with the whole, if they have to rescue Alia Bhatt's character, I don't know if it was intentionally making her seem stupid in this movie. Like when she says, सोचो शिवा, मैं तुम्हारी जिंदगी में आई हूँ. It's not just a coincidence. Very creepy.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe they'll have like an entire movie on her, and maybe she has some powers that we don't know about yet. Maybe she's just portrayed to be stupid, so that when she becomes actually intelligent in the next movie, you'll be like, cool.
Yeah, she's just
Like, whoa, character development, bro.
I mean, they
So
have
smart.
left like an empty
She read a
slate,
book.
right? You don't really
Half
know.
time she read a book.
Cool. All right.
Shudla, do you have any take on it?
See, I really don't care about the plot because no matter what, it's going to be okay. You'll just be like, oh, I wish this didn't happen or something like that. But I'll just look at it as it's just a chance for them to redeem themselves. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm someone who doesn't like fantasy movies, like, come on, do more. Try harder, bro. You had time, you had resources.
Sad.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's
that's
about it.
true.
That's about
It'll be redemption. I think second part is
it. Yeah,
redemption.
that's it.
Parmeet,
And I
what's
don't know
your
if
theory?
and I don't know if the Junoon's character is dead either.
No, it's not. I don't think she's dead yet. She like put the Brahmastra
Maybe
together
she'll
and
come
then
back. They'll talk about something. And so my theory was, the first movie was never about Dev getting the Brahmastra. It was just putting the Brahmastra back together because that creation of power would free him to be in his real form. Because Deepika trapped him and then she broke the Brahmastra, she threw it away. So bring that back together. He just wanted to come back to Earth in his mortal form or like human form or whatever. So then he can start his like fight for whatever. That was my theory. So I'm
that's fair.
sure they'll explore like if whether this Dev and Amrita had two kids, one kid, who killed whom, how did she trap him, and all of that.
How do you think it should go? All right. Since I asked for a pitch, how do you think it should go? Like in your mind, like what would be like the best case scenario for you? All right, think about it. Any of you have like?
I
Yeah.
think even the second movie will be all about Dev, and then they'll build up to one big fight, which will happen in the third movie.
I agree. I think I agree with that part. Where
Because the second
part,
movie is just a bridge,
yeah,
and then this is all going to be all about Dev's backstory, why he became bad, and how he managed to capture so many astras for himself when all the other guards, whatever, have only one to themselves.
But they'll try to riff off the whole. They want to play right now after the Bahubali franchise. They want to
He's
riff
like
off something
Thanos.
so they want to play something along the lines of. They want people to create a buzz of why did Kattappa kill Bahubali or something like that. They will want something along the same lines for the second part to build enough
It'll end at a
anticipation.
cliffhanger.
Yeah. So that you can like, there is anticipation for the third movie. Otherwise, people will lose interest.
I feel what they should do is opposite of what I don't want them to do, which is like just make the villain a plain old boring, oh, he's a bad guy. There
Like a caricature villain.
Yeah, there has to be a moral conflict to make things interesting. There you have to make it in such a way that you also root for the villain. And then there is a moral conflict, and you have to that has to develop in the second movie. So in the third movie, like they can just fight it out and have fun.
And I feel they will do that. Like if it's gonna be Ranveer Singh, he has enough acting chops to pull that off as well. Like that you'll actually empathize with his character or his interpretation. Because even like I feel like the way Ayan Mukherjee is writing it, there's gonna be a love story between Dev and Amrita too in the second movie. That will be a huge chunk again. They might reduce it now because of fan feedback, or people feedback, not fans, clearly.
But Deepika Ranveer have crazy chemistry. Alia Ranveer don't.
I feel they were good together. They were fine. Yeah.
But it also, you know what? Like I realized it also depends on the director to harness it from the actors. Like because Sanjay Leela was so good with Padmavat and Baji Rao and everything. I don't know if Ayan Mukherjee can do that with Deepika and Ranveer.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I feel Ayan Mukherjee is like for his coming of age movies, and that's
He's very
definitely
childlike. He's not like a mature director.
I like it though. Like it's fine. It's like a coming of age movie again, but
I
this
hate
is
that
next
term.
difference. It is true though. It is
Coming of age.
like this
They-
entire movie was that he realizes he has powers and he's like, oh yeah, now I need to harness these powers.
Dude, there's not been like a single coming of age female centric movie. Why is it that it's just a guy thing?
It's only Ranbir Kapoor thing, not a guy thing
Actually,
also.
that's true.
It's he's an entitled man-child in every single movie.
Exactly.
Next,
Yeah.
You're
next
just
movie he's
letting
going
him
to
act like
Europe.
a spoiled man child. He should be thrashed.
I think
Next
it's
movie, he's
very
for sure
interesting.
going to Europe for a vacation, bro. That's happening in the next movie.
Oh yeah, that's to pander to international audiences because they need diversity, right? So then they'll have the next battle will be in Greece. Because
But
Get some international actor to play some.
No, it'll be in like Budapest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eastern European country.
Mm.
So like some international actor to play like Brahmastra or something. Like, oh, we are going to Greece now for him.
I'm sure they'll have some like evil Russians.
Yeah.
Like Batista or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good casting.
I would for Brahmastra, I would like to say like Mads Mikkelsen, but this is just like super way
Oh, I
up.
love him. I love
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But isn't Vayuvastra already casted for? Vayu was cleansing, no?
Was he?
Yeah.
I feel more than one people can have astras.
But
But
'cause
Abhinav,
even-
the power is not with the individual, it's with the whatever they wear.
Little amulet thing.
But the thing is, I also have a problem with this because if you see the first beginning montage, with all of it, you take even Nandi Astra, you take even the Shah Rukh Khan's thing, they never really dug deep into what the Astras are,
That's
right?
what.
So they really need to explore that. Like
We'll
they
do it in
started,
second and third movie.
I think someone asked, I had this discussion with somebody and they were like, wait, is it the Astras that give the powers? Then like, how are these individuals in the Brahman selected if like whoever has the Astra has the power? Did they find the Astra? Because is it like a chosen one thing? Like, oh, I am chosen.
Yeah, I want to
for
know
this
that.
Astra?
How did they choose? Who chose them?
and
I
why
think-
why are they all Indian?
Was it put to like a democratic vote?
no,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
like,
saying. It's
I
not
think it's
like,
chosen by like whatever god or the
I
god of
understand.
yeah.
I understand the Astra parts, but then I was like, okay, if by that logic of if you finding the Astra, if you have the Astra, you become whatever, then why would those kids go to learn? It was very like X-Men like this whole Guruji is very like Xavier's, and
Yeah.
these
And-
kids are just born with these innate talents because Tenzing was not wearing any Astra.
I think it was right.
He
Amit
was.
something.
He was?
So I think so.
I
I
think
think he
I
was.
can't remember, but
Yeah. Now
No,
it's
but I
like
just
that.
feel like the first entry montage didn't talk about all the others. They just spoke about the four:
Yeah, the
Agni,
main-
Vayu, Jal, and that thing, and Earth. But there was no other like callback to it. There was only Agni that we heard about, and Jal. Vayu, we don't know if Tenzing was the only one or if there is somebody bigger with Vayu.
No, I think it's the only one. The only reason, and hitting back on what Deepak said earlier, that oh yeah, that run like Dave had in his pitch that he had basically absorbed uh, her powers or whatever Amrita's. Well, I think earlier they did say, or in the movie, Amitabh Bachchan while saying it, he did mention that yeah, once you're in the Brahmanch, I was gonna say Xavier's X-Men, whatever. But yeah, once you're in the Brahmanch, like Ranveer's Dev was basically so obsessed that he started mastering all of the astras. So he kind of had all the powers there, like the Kavach Astra, the Jal Astra, and everything. And that's why when Junoon, that's the reason Junoon was able to use the Jal Astra in that fight. Not because they had absorbed Amrita's power. That's a theory, but she was able to use it because she's like whatever last
disciple.
power Dave had, he gave it to her, Junoon, to go actually join the Brahmastra together, and he was lending her the power of like all of the astras he had mastered previously. So that's
No,
why
but
she was able to use them.
she says that, no, she's like, my only true calling and my only purpose is to find the
Yeah.
Brahmastra and put it together. Like,
Yeah.
so now when we go back into could she be the twin or could she be anything? It could just be, for all you know, just like you said, anybody that has the stone becomes evil, right? Even when we saw that from them wearing it. It could just be that once she takes off the stone, that Junoon is actually a good person. And she was just acting on the commands of Dev.
Yeah, I think the only reason I just feel like Junoon is not even. I feel like she's just like Dev's creation because they named her Junoon, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yeah, You know,
Wow.
like what happened, right? Yeah.
I haven't thought about this movie in so much detail. I'm like, see, the kind of fan theories
I
we're
don't think the
making out to
makers
be.
have thought of it in that much detail. I think we're just dissecting it too much.
Well, I mean, some of these like are like fan theories. The biggest one, which I found very interesting, was in the end when she actually, as Abhinav described multiple times, when she put her hands on his chest, on his bare chest, like at that point the Brahmastra's power
She
was
didn't
kind of
burn.
lowering down. So there's this theory that Alia Bhatt and Ranbir Kapoor's character together, I mean, because of her powers as well, that calmed down the Brahmastra when she touched him, and that's when it like actually unleashed that whole flurry when they were together, and actually she was touching him.
He
They
says
showed her
no.
hands,
He,
and stuff,
he
but
says it's the love that kept them
yeah, it's
alive
the
or something
love.
like
Like they're saying that she like unlocked this love in him, but more so than that, it was both of them together that actually made it
that.
happen.
No, that's what he says in the voiceover. It says that because Ranbir was willing to sacrifice himself to protect Alia, it unlocked that love in them, which is what allowed him to manifest that entire Brahmastra.
Hmm.
That's what the
Thought
last
so.
dialogue was.
Yeah, that was the last dialogue. Though I'm saying that still depend like that's still like Ranbir Kapoor's power, right? That's still like Shiva's like power in the movie. It doesn't have to do with Alia Bhatt at all, other than she's just like helping him unlock his inner strength or whatever.
But why is Alia his button? What is the connection between the two?
Love,
Is
He
it
bro.
said
just
love,
love?
right? Yeah, he just
It
said
can't be.
love.
But
I mean,
how can
Everything that transcends.
no? But
Yeah.
it was only after Alia came into the situation that he had started having those dore and all of that, right? Like
No. No, in fact, when he first saw her itself, when that fireworks were
that's
going
what I'm
off in that
saying. The
pandal,
first time he saw her is when the dore happened. When he
but
was
that's
at
the
the
first scene in the
pandal.
movie, so we don't know if he had it before that.
I don't know.
Fair
Why
point.
was she? Who is Isha? Why is Isha there?
You'll know in
She's
part two.
Parvati, she said so herself.
तुम कौन हो शिवा? तुम
bro,
कौन हो?
if that was like
मैं
forecasting,
कौन हूँ
wow.
शिवा? ये क्या है? लाइट शिवा?
मैं भी तुम्हारे साथ चलूंगी शिवा वाराणसी.
मुझसे झूठ मत बोलो शिवा.
Yeah.
Dude,
That was
today
actually
I found a Instagrammer who imitates Alia Bhatt. Fucking A, dude.
I think
It's
I
so
saw it too.
hilarious. It's
I think
so
yeah, I
hilarious. I died.
Yeah, I saw
And she
that.
does a whole series on Alia Bhatt, okay? It's like
Shiva.
Alia Bhatt is like her claim to fame.
Yeah.
Like
I
literally
think that was
everything is
on
on
point.
Alia Bhatt.
Yeah,
So
that
good.
was on point.
That reel was so good, dude. Shiva. Q Shiva.
You don't do it, bro. This is
Yeah,
very.
please don't do it. You sound weird.
It's like you're making a off-brand porn of this movie or something.
Oh,
Shiva.
it did sound like there were a lot of scenes where it looked like they were having an orgasm, like genuinely. Like that scene that she touched Ranbir, she was just like, I was just like, can you relax, lady? Can you both stop making so many sounds? Like, can you relax?
It was
But yeah,
burning our hands.
I don't get it. Like I'm like, and yeah, she burnt herself. I don't know about this healing theory. I don't know where you read this fan fiction, but yeah, maybe. She falls off a building, nothing happens.
It's
And she's just a
Brahmastra
regular
fanfic.
girl in a regular world.
God, that would be so lame. I think if
It's
that
so
happens,
stupid. So stupid.
That
Dude,
whole
you
dial
all
that
are sitting and theorizing so much. I don't think the writers have thought of all this.
no, but I'm
Yeah.
saying
okay,
they
if
use
Ayan
inspiration from
Mukherjee is
us.
looking, if Ayan Mukherjee is looking, please watch this because you'll get a lot of ideas for
Give us
Brahmastra.
royalty, yeah.
Doubtful.
No, but
Yeah.
do you remember that scene? What was the need for Alia's character to be rich? We never saw anything to it. It's just like, आप तो अमीर
Dude,
हो,
no. Her
आप
character
हमारे
was
हाँ.
rich. Her character was rich just so that Ranbir Kapoor can take her to an orphanage and then she'll be like, I love this man. He takes care of 4 children.
And by the way, Alia Bhatt doesn't seem to care about her visa status because she looks like she's coming from London for like a week vacation in India, and she's just like, okay, I'll just go to Varanasi now and stay there for a couple of months. Like, bro, do you not have to get back? What do you have?
Unnecessary backstory is that her house is in London. How does it matter?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe the final sequence will take place in her mansion in London. Part 3.
Maybe that's the Europe connect.
Yeah, it's like, let's go to Europe next month. तेरा घर है ना उधर उधर
That's
जाएंगे.
in London. That's quite in London.
See, if it was Ritik playing Dev, then he could have dressed himself as the queen. But now she's dead. R.I.P.
What weird angle did you take this out?
Have you forgotten Doom 2?
He becomes a
Oh,
Narka.
Guys, you
We didn't
totally
see
messed
going
up
there.
my joke.
I liked it. I liked it.
all right.
So-
That was a good talk on Brahmastra. I think we covered a lot of aspects of the movie. Good, bad. Clearly, a lot of haters for it on this call itself. I can see.
I don't think I completely hate
No,
it. They
it-
have done a good job. Like the hard work shows.
Yeah.
But I think they forgot to evenly spread out their hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they
Yeah,
give you a
for
lot of
sure.
hope. They give you a lot of
For
hope
sure,
during the
but-
movie, that you're like, okay, this is the good scene. They can do better. They can do better. And then they'll do a really shitty scene and you'll be like, fuck, why? Why? And the dialogue writer, dude, he's actually a very popular comedian. Wait, let me
Hussain
look up.
Dalal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's very
quite
good.
talented.
He's very talented.
I'm like, what even happened to you, dude?
I
Were you
think
not
he
given
was
any
also in
creative
Wake Up.
freedom?
I think he wrote the dialogues for Wake Up Sid also.
I mean, see, I wouldn't blame the comedian because there's a lot of bureaucracy when going from writing your own material to writing for some
Very
show
true.
that
Very true.
come in the way. But I mean, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, he's getting so much hate on the internet. It's not funny. It's just really sad. Clearly, they don't understand that it takes, without a director's acceptance, it's never going to go ahead. Clearly,
Yeah.
I
Ayan
mean,
Mukherjee was in on it as well.
It was 50-50, between both of them, it seems. It wasn't just him. Ayan Mukherjee also was, he
But-
and the
But there was a
writer.
lot of pandering. Even if you look in the first scene, right? Those two sidekicks of Ranbir Kapoor, they have a very Mumbaiya Hindi, which they were trying very hard to keep. It's not fluid. It's oh, you're trying to pander. A lot of it seemed like they were trying too hard to pander. I honestly think that, yes, I seem like a hater, but there is so much hope. I just came out of that movie thinking that, fuck, Brahmastra 2 is going to be a special movie. I
It
just
better
might be disappointed too, but yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm not hating
Yeah.
on it fully. I'm still on the fence. It's I'm giving them a chance for redemption.
Actually, I can see Rajmouli making the third one because Ayan Mukherjee is 10 years on this and then next 6 years on that. And then what am I doing with my life? The last 2 decades I've spent on this. I'm not making another one.
Yeah, but I still liked it. It was also good, to see, after RRR, this was the next, big movie to actually come out, right? And, from Bollywood, in the longest time, this was, the first Bollywood movie to actually be, a big opener.
But
I mean,
What was the last
I
big
would have
hit? I don't even
expected
remember.
Amir Khan movie to make big, but that Forrest Gump thing didn't kick off, right? It didn't.
Lal Singh Chadda was a flop.
Watch it. Yeah.
The thing is, Bollywood is not seen, when you read headlines, it's just for Brahmastra, rather saying, oh, we like the movie and we want to go watch it. They're there's such dearth for good content, we'll just watch anything. That's what it'll come down to. But coming on that point of directors, who else do you think could have directed a fantasy film like this? Do you think Raju Irani would have done a good job?
No.
No.
There-
Sanjay
When-
Ansari maybe, but it would be a little bit more dramatic.
Has
Yeah.
there been a big budget, not even big budget, big story?
Jaga Jasus is the only fantasy genre that happened. Again, Ranbir Kapoor. And I think it was Anurag Basu, right? Who did Jaga
Anurag
Jasus?
Basu.
Anurag
Pass only.
Basu, I think, would do a good job. Like if you've looked at Ludo too, it was really cool. Like it's
Yes,
just like
Ludo was good too, but like Jagga Jasus had so much hype associated to it. Like
but it flopped, right? And after that, Ranbir Kapoor was like, "What the hell?"
Ranbir Kapoor, he has a sense of entitlement that people will always want him for the rest of his life.
That's
If you
that's fact.
every Coffee with Karan episode is about how Ranbir Kapoor is the greatest actor who ever lived.
I
Right?
mean, if you're saying he
I think
believes
he's
that for
still like the
himself,
best actor of this generation for
No,
sure.
Ranveer Singh.
You'll say Ranveer Singh. I know it. That's I think the
Ranveer Singh.
Ranveer thing is like
No,
I
because
feel is
see,
Ranbir Kapoor.
it's not just pure talent. There's so much more to it. It's like Ranveer Kapoor is very talented, but he's just very callous about things. He's just like, हाँ ठीक है,
Like, how do you
चला
know
तो
that?
चला.
yeah,
Look
he's
at
your
him.
best
He
friend. No,
puts
you
so much effort
go to him
into
like
every
every
movie.
Tuesday or something. He's your best friend.
You
No,
can
You
see
know,
it in
he's
his
so
attitude.
callous. Like, and also Ranveer Kapoor is like an actual like a method actor, and he puts so much into like Sanju, right? Like,
Dude,
so
Sanju, they're not denying Barfi being great, not denying Sanju being great, not
exactly.
denying. See, the thing is, even if you look at a lot of Ranveer Singh's roles, you take a Khilji role was great. You take a Gully Boys role also was great, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, they're equally pitted, but the way, but Ranveer Singh never gets the recognition for the effort that he puts in.
I think he
That's true.
does. I think he
No,
does.
Ranbir Kapoor just gets it like on the platter, like everything's come to him on like with a silver spoon.
But also
He's
he
just like,
has talent. Ranbir Kapoor is talented. That's why he
he's
gets it. Like,
but he is talented, but he also comes from a lot of like, dude, in an interview,
Privilege.
he had the privilege to say that, ठीक है, अगर जो movies मुझे करने में करूंगा, big deal.
yeah, I
चला
mean,
तो चला, नहीं तो नहीं.
but also
you
like,
have the option, bro. If like 7 people give you job offers, you're like, "Oh, if it comes along, I'll take it. If it doesn't,
But that also shows like from his choice of movies itself, you'll know that he is that sort of person, right? Like he's not done like straight out like big Bollywood movies.
But
Ever.
he still, see, dude, if I was to nitpick, Ye Jawani is his best movie.
Yeah. See,
Just
that's
because of just like,
I that's his most Bollywood-ish movie. That Ajab Prem Ki Gazab Kahani, those movies are like typical Bollywood movies. But if you look at his like career, he's done so many different like Rockstar,
Rocket Singh.
Tamasha,
Rocket Singh was a movie
Rocket
that no,
Singh.
yeah.
Rocket Singh was pretty good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not shitting on him as an actor, but I'm just saying that he has a lot of entitlement about where he is at, which Ranveer Singh doesn't. You know, and I think Ranveer Singh will play a great role in the next movie, which, dude, this time when you watch Brahmastra 1 though, for the caliber of actor that Ranveer and Alia are from, you don't see it translating on screen.
I think
Maybe
this movie had like Brahmastra had like Alia, the younger Alia from like a few
yes,
years ago than like a more
student
matured actor.
student of the year Alia.
Yeah, more so than like your darlings or like
Exactly.
like your gully boy Alia or whatever.
Exactly.
And
I think maybe because they started shooting it so much, like maybe 6 years
5
ago,
years
then
ago,
maybe they're
right?
like, yeah, that
Yeah.
maybe she's improved as an actress.
even-
He was also in a different place in life, I guess. So I'm like, when movies are being made for so long, you can't really tell,
I
where
mean,
they
I
are.
feel like Ranbir Kapoor looked old in this movie in some parts.
He looked very old.
He looked old. It was like in some parts I was like, now you've become old Ranbir Kapoor for these kinds of movies. This is kind of sad to see. But yeah, right, he's almost 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the
Alia's
movie,
like
he plays a
daughter.
30-year-old. Like they say he's 30.
Yeah. Which
Next
is
movie,
good enough.
Alia will be his daughter. It'll be damn funny. She'll play a double role.
Yeah, but
This shit is very creepy.
yeah, Alia definitely looked young.
But yeah, Parneet, you never got to concluding on what is your take on the whole fan theory, like how you see Brahmastra 2 going.
I think it's very similar to what you guys are more so with Niharika's pitch. I resonated with more than anything else, because I feel like that's like the outline, the general outline that the movie is gonna go. Like they'll show like Amrita and Dev's love story, and then why he'll turn to the dark side as usual, and then I feel they'll end the first half, or like I think the second, or the movie, either the first half or the entire movie, with the final fight that they talked about between Amrita and Dev. And at the end of the second movie, they'll jump back to Ranbir and Alia, and they'll be like, okay, now we gotta fight this guy, which would be the jumping off point for the third movie. And in the third movie, they'll at that point they'll show a little bit of Alia's backstory and all of that stuff, and end with the final fight between these guys.
Makes sense.
And I feel they should like kill off Ranveer Singh's character in the end of the scene. Otherwise, it
How
would be
dare you?
if they don't kill the bad guy, fine. However complicated it is, if they don't show him,
No, of course they'll kill. Of course they'll kill him.
Yeah, we
you
will
never
just
know.
like
What if he'll turn into a good guy and he'll like sacrifice himself, like a generic villain? I think they should make him like an out and out bad guy like Voldemort, than with Darth
no, but
Vader.
you only said we need to empathize with him and we need
You
to
need
like
to empathize with him, but also like, yeah, he should die.
no, but like if he goes through the same Voldemort arc, you like hate him. But like I feel like Dave is a character that he went dark for whatever reason. Right?
He went dark because he wanted power. I think everyone can relate to it.
Yeah, exactly. Think
He
of that.
starts going to therapy.
Plus, if you have somebody that looks like Ranveer Singh, everyone's going to empathize with him, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
basically what Shrudala was saying, a lot of these problems can be solved if we just go to therapy.
Yeah, he was like signs up for therapy at the end of it. He's like, you know what, guys, I need therapy. Let me just talk
I have
about
too
it.
much to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, good.
Unpack.
Yeah, I think that's a good wow, that's an elaborate discussion on Brahmastra, dude. I think
Yes.
Sucharita and Trident Refused have done Trident Refused has done multiple videos on what he
Yeah.
thinks on Brahmastra and how Brahmastra has been doing, and I think now I'm going to go and like watch interviews, like post movie interviews, and see where Alia and Ranbir and all stand on the movie. I want to hear what Ayan Mukherjee has to say, dude. Like
I mean,
I
he's
haven't
always
heard.
spoken about it. Like, yeah, the dialogues part, right? He's like, people have questioned him. Like, he's spoken about it. Obviously, he was like, yeah, give me feedback. Like, there are 2 more movies that make it better. So, yeah, I think that's where he's coming from. But let's see. TBD.
Yeah,
But yeah, good talk.
I'm not gonna think about this till the next movie comes out now.
Yeah, I think by the time the next movie comes out, all of us will be in our 30s, dude.
Shit.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
be
like,
old.
You cut this part. And go on YouTube to remind me I'm old forever.
that existential problem only you have, so I'm chill.
I don't think it's only me, okay?
Me too. But yeah, the movie will release in 2028.
Jeez.
Brahmastra 2.
25.
2025, dude.
No, not 3 years, dude. You
They're
guys
targeting
want-
a 2025 release for part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, they already said the word.
Yeah, December 25.
So
December
it'll go to
20.
26 most likely,
I think
because
20.
part 1 was going to come out in 2020.
I mean, that is not on them, right? That's like a global
The
thing.
pandemic, yeah.
I mean, no, but also I feel like at that point the VFX also weren't done, and they had already put in like 200-300 crores into the movie, and they were like, yeah, we can't release this because it's going to flop really badly.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
is it a flop now? What are the
a-
statistics saying?
It's made a lot of money already.
It's not a flop.
Can
They're
you call it a
definitely-
flop, really? I don't think so, right?
That's a good. See, like after how long, like it was a packed theater wherever like people.
Not
are going.
when we went.
Not when
half
I went.
empty.
Yeah, it was half empty
Yeah.
both the times that I went. In America, maybe it was full.
No,
It
but I
wasn't.
mean,
in
I went
India.
in the.
But they also had a very, very aggressive marketing strategy. Like they were just
No.
publicity. They were
No,
like, watch it, watch it, watch it. You have to go watch it. So
not
they just created a hype.
It wasn't them, it
It-
was just the public that created
correct.
of this.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Brahmastra.
saying. The difference with Brahmastra was they didn't oversell. What Liger did was they oversold. Brahmastra didn't oversell at all.
Right.
They did.
They
Abhinav, go watch the interviews, pre-release interviews of Brahmastra.
they
They
did, Ray, but
they
it
went to
was
like
never.
every city in India and promoted it.
Of course, spending 400 crores, I will go to every planet in the world if
So
I
that's
could.
the thing, no, because
But
like
everyone is doing that nowadays, right? People are
if
promoting
all over your
Liger.
Instagram, Google, Facebook, all you can see is Brahmastra, Brahmastra, and people will go watch it then. Like they'll just be like, okay, let me go see what the hype is about. Ultimately, if the ticket price is earning you revenue,
Then why didn't they go watch Liger?
Why
Same
didn't they go
logic.
watch
no one watched Liger.
Why?
I haven't
Same,
watched it.
exactly why I'm saying the same push was there for Liger. In fact, Liger's marketing was beautiful. Like Karan Johar's, the team at Dharma's marketing team really pushed beautifully for Liger. You saw Liger everywhere, but nobody went and watched it.
Because
Because see,
Liger did not have VFX to save it.
no, but
And
they didn't
also, I think
have,
the writing was terrible on Liger.
you know, so I
Plus,
mean, like,
Ananya Pandey is like really annoying.
we'll have an episode on Liger soon because we haven't watched the movie yet. You
I'm
guys
sure
have, I
it'll come on
haven't watched it.
OTT soon.
Only
So we'll
Deepak's
watch it.
watched
I
it in
really
this
want to
group.
watch and review Liger.
I watched it.
Yeah, Deepak's watched it in theater. Like,
We booked tickets for Liger, me and my friend.
My condolences.
I was visiting my friend in Houston and we wanted to kill time. So we went to watch Liger and we were the only two people in the theater. AMC is texting us, asking, bro, are you guys coming to the movie? Just the two of you. Are you? What kind of losers are you? Are you coming to watch Liger? Like AMC is texting us. What's wrong with you?
No, but yeah, we're going to do it. Like, I'm going to go watch Liger. I'm not going to watch it on OTT. I'm going to go
I'm
watch it.
not watching it at all.
Like,
I'm
we
not
got to review, dude. If somebody spent 125 crores on a movie, how bad can it be?
In Bangalore, they've removed it from all theaters.
Yeah, I
So
think
I
it's
was
out of
scared to
theaters
watch.
already.
It is.
It went out of theaters like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, but you guys should watch on Hotstar. There's Katputli that you guys should watch. It's a remake of a movie. I think it's a remake of Ratsasan or something like that. But like, it's good. It didn't get such great reviews, but the story, like the movie itself, I was like, it's good. It's not too bad. Yeah, it was a good like murder mystery movie. Yeah,
But we should
and
do
it's
a
not a kids movie. It's definitely not a kids movie.
but we should
Weird
definitely
stuff.
do an entire series
Liger
on.
has 3 on 10 on IMDb.
Wow, it has 3. Oh my god, that's a lot for Liger.
Wow, Deepak really hated it. I want to go and watch it now. I think tomorrow I'm going to try my best.
You guys
But
should
guys,
watch
let's do a recommendation episode where like we all give our take on what was the best so far in 2022, what we really enjoyed, what we're currently watching, what we watched, so that
I mean, it's
the-
not
the-
available in Indian theaters, but Barbarian was, oh my god, so amazing. For me to agree with that.
so I'm planning to go for everything. What is that new movie that's come out?
everything everywhere all at
Everything
once.
all
All
at
at
once.
Yeah,
new.
it's finally it's finally come to
it's
theaters in India.
now.
Yeah, so I'm planning to watch that as well. But yeah, we should do a entire episode on recommendations because the 10 people listening to us right now will probably be interested.
Including
10
us,
is optimistic.
including us, maybe 10 will reach at least.
I only won't watch this again. Like, what do you say, others? I only want to watch this again.
Yeah,
But anyway, I
Yeah,
think that's a good
good.
note. Thanks for joining in, guys. I think it's finally long overdue. This is the start of hundreds of episodes to come
Oh.
in the next 100 years.
Hopefully, by
fun.
the time we reach our 100th episode anniversary, will be Brahmastra 2's review.
if we can rely on how consistently Brahmastra movies come out, yeah, by that time we'll reach 100.
For sure.
That's also optimistic, Deepak. We've been trying to put out one episode for the last 3 years.
Yeah. I was just looking at for a second. I thought, did we actually record this session or no? That
We
was
did.
funny.
It's
We
recording.
did. It is recording.
We didn't record it. We just had a very pretentious conversation with the pastor.
Really sad.
Okay, that's a good note to pause on. I'm going to
All
just
right.
pause.
Thanks, guys.